You're about to watch a Trains Newswire video. If you enjoy what you see, consider watching some of our other full-length videos. Selling Sunshine, the Florida Trains. Locomotive 2017, a video companion to our best-selling annual issue. Big Steam is back. All of these and more are available from our website, kalmbachhobbystore.com.
Hi, this is David Lassen with the Trains Newswire video for October 6, 2017. I'm flying solo this week with Jim Rinn, Steve Sweeney, and Brian Schmidt all out of the office, which means they're having way more fun than I am at this moment. And one quick note, we're taping this on Thursday afternoon because of scheduling conflicts. So if there's been big news in the last 24 hours and we're not mentioning it, that's why. Anyway, here are some of the top stories you can look at this week on Trains Newswire. A report from the Transportation Research Board says results were inconclusive in a year-long study on whether electronically controlled pneumatic brakes reduce the risk of derailment or fire for unit tank car trains. You may recall that the Federal Railroad Administration issued an order in 2015 asking railroads to install those electronic brakes on all those unit trains. Railroads balked at that order, and Congress asked for a further examination of the rules, or specifically of the FRA computer results behind those rules. The Research Board has issued its opinion, and this finding leaves those rulings in doubt. Another story this week, a long-running dispute between the owner of a steam locomotive and the Mid-Continent Railroad Museum in North Freedom, Wisconsin, began its final chapter as the 282 locomotive, Polson Lumber No. 2, was loaded onto a flatbed trailer to be moved from Wisconsin to its new home at the Oregon Coast Scenic Railroad. No. 2 has been at North Freedom since 1982, but is leaving after an arbitrator's ruling that the museum there owed locomotive owner Skip Lichter reimbursement for his costs in restoring the engine, and the museum also has to pay for its move. And because it wouldn't be a Newswire week without a CSX story, we'll note that the railroad is getting mixed reviews in its report that it's back on its feet after some operational challenges this summer. At the recent Northeast Association of Rail Shippers, about 2/3 of the shippers polled said service was improving, but 97% still rated that service as fair or poor. On the other hand, 3 shippers had very positive reports about their experiences with CSX recently in statements to the Surface Transportation Board. Those statements are in advance of a hearing next week where more than 24 shippers are expected to testify. And finally, Australian mining firm Rio Tinto announced this week that it successfully ran a driverless train over 60 miles of its remote operation in Western Australia. This is a precursor to complete driverless operations beginning next year. This is a story we'll be following because we're going to have a feature on driverless trains in an upcoming issue of Trains. This week, with everyone else out of the office, we're going to leave you with some video from our far-flung staff members. There's 3 clips here for you. One is from Jim Rinn. He is wrapping up a tour of Peru with a group of Trains readers. Jim's video is of the magazine's tour train leaving La Arroya, Peru on the FCCA railroad behind a C-30-7, a former U.S. locomotive, for a trip on a lightly used branch line. And no, Jim didn't miss the train. After shooting this, he climbed on board for a cab ride. Steve's video is of the Polson logging locomotive that we were just talking about being prepared for its trip out of North Freedom. And then finally, Brian Schmidt, who was in Cincinnati for to give a presentation to the Cincinnati Railroad Club, shot some footage this morning of a couple of CSX trains at Glendale, Ohio, a northern suburb of Cincinnati. Hope you enjoy that footage, and we'll be back next week with a more conventional issue of Trains Newswire online. Thanks. Bye-bye.